there, it's Rachel with Goose, and today he and I are going to do a heel review. When I did a review with him last time he was here, I went over a bunch of different things with him to see what he needed to work on, and I remember that his heeling is a bit rusty. I don't know if he learned it at all in puppy class. And I don't see it as stuff that we've worked on here in the 5-minute trainings on his training log. So maybe it was unfair of me to do because he didn't know it. So long story short, we are just going to start from the beginning, and I'm going to treat it like he's never heard heel before because it has probably been a while if he's been over it at all. So first thing with heel is the dog is always by your side, and you want to have a relaxed leash but not a loose leash. For loose leash walking, we teach you to give him the whole leash and just hold on to the end so he has plenty of room to explore. Heeling is a lot more controlled than that. So you want to still have the leash gathered up so he can't get too far in front of you or off to the side, but not be pulling on him. It should make a nice J shape like this, and you're ready to start. Now, I like to start heeling on the left side. That's just a personal preference, but most places do have heeling on the left. So pick a side and be consistent with that, and practice your heeling that way. Goose, come here. Alright, he's nice and mellow after having a few hours to play, and so that makes it a bit easier to do the heeling, so I don't have to have a tight leash on him because he's not going to be pulling around. You know, you won't have a lot of energy to try to turn into a sled dog on me here. Alright, so first I'm going to turn around to get him in the sitting position I want him in. So come here, Goose. Sit. Good, sit. Alright, now this here is a perfect position to have him in. He's close to my side, his body is straight, he's right next to me, not in front of me, and doesn't have his butt turned out and is looking towards me like that. So this is really good. Now, I have the leash gathered up. He doesn't have a lot of leash, but I do have some control on him here. So we're going to start off, and with whatever side you choose to have, Goose, sit, good, sit. With whatever side you choose to have the heeling on, always lead with that leg that is closest. So, since he's on my left side, I'm going to lead with my left leg when I tell him to heel. Give him a nice firm heel command. Sit. Good, sit. Now, as you can see, I pulled back on the leash so that he sat right next to me and he couldn't like go in front of me. And then I released it as soon as he did. So you want to work on practice him walking on a loose leash for heel, but not loose like our loose leash walking. All right. So I'm going to have the treat here, and we're going to start out. So left foot, since he's on my left side, Goose, heel. Heel. Good heel, Goose. Good heel. Good boy. All right, that was very good. We'll do a little bit more, and then I'll come back to you. Goose, heel. Good heel, Goose. Heel. Good heel, Goose. Good boy. Good boy. That was very good. I'm glad to see that. So, a couple things that I've noticed. When I start out, it seems like he doesn't really know the heel command that well because I tell him heel and I start walking and I get about here before he follows me. So you might have noticed towards the end there when I said heel, I would give him a jerk on the leash. That's just a little reminder for him, for him that it's a time to get up and go. And he was doing really well, though. He's very responsive and very respectful on a leash, so that is good to see. Also, when I was walking, he would kind of slow down and lag behind me, and so I had the treat, and I was baiting him the whole time. If he got a little too slow, I would give the leash a little wiggle or make a kissing sound, tell him to heel, and encourage him to come up next to me. You want to have him close. That's good manners for heeling. Heeling is really important, and it can give you kind of a sense of security and control. So if you take him out to Petco or to the vet, or if you're on a walk with him and there might be some other dogs up ahead and you're nervous about that, you don't want Goose to get distracted with it, don't want him to get into anything or interact with certain dogs. By having him heel, that keeps him close to you and it keeps his attention on you since you're giving him commands, and so you don't have to worry about him getting to the end of the leash and going off. You're commanding his attention and he is following you. Like that, if you take him to Petco or something like that, if there are a lot of dogs around, it can be helpful, maneuvering through the aisles, have him close by you, you can get in, get your stuff and get right out. So, that's when we like to use heel. It's important to practice it. Sometimes it's good to practice on a walk with Goose, like if you're practicing the loose leash walking, practice maybe a couple minutes of heeling here and there. It's not something that we do for a prolonged amount of time, so it's just in those kind of situations that I mentioned before where you need to keep tabs on him and want him close by you and being respectful. So he's doing really well. Since he is a bit slower, I'm going to use a technique called drive, and the purpose of drive is to get him excited and get him into the proper heeling position. Now what it is I will get in front of him, I'll have the treat in my head, and then I'm going to get really excited, make a lot of noise, call him, and run backwards. We're going to do that a couple times, and then as I'm baiting him backwards, I'm going to turn and bait him this way so he is going along on my side and used to walking next to me. He's very good at walking, but I want him to learn and to get used to getting right up next to me. So I'll show you what drive looks like. Drive is also really good to use for practicing his come. If he's not responding very quickly to you when you do come, just run backwards, come, like that. It helps get him excited, and the dogs have a lot of fun with it, so it's a good bonding exercise too. So I'll show you what drive looks like. Come on, Goose. Goose, come on. Good boy. Well, come on, Goose. Good boy. Come on. Good boy. Good job, Goose. Good boy. That was great. As you can see, he had pep in his step, his tail was wagging, he was happy to be doing it and having fun, and then towards the end I was able to turn around and I was still jogging with him. He was keeping right up with me and I had the treat right in front of his face, and he got into a very nice sit at the end. So if you find that he's lagging, it might be fun to just take a little break and do some drives like that. Just to get him excited and get him used to walking up to your pace. Also with the heeling, he's very good with the sits. For heel, he's always supposed to stop and sit whenever you stop, and you aren't supposed to tell him sit. Now, if he has trouble with it, of course you should make him sit so that you're not practicing incorrect techniques, but him sitting when you stop is part of the heel command, so you always want to practice that. So when I come to a stop with him, if you notice, I took the treat and I baited him up into the sitting position, so I didn't actually have to tell him to do that. So he would sit on his own, and when he did that, I would give him the treat and reward him for the good heel. He did a very good job with that. So practice those things at home. Practice him sitting, keeping up with you. He seems to be lagging the most, which usually a dog not pulling on a leash is a good thing, but we want him up right close to our side, and then when he does sit, we want him close to us and straight. It's natural for dogs to want to turn out so that they can look up at you, because usually when you train your dogs, you're working with them Goose, like this. So they're used to being in front of you and looking up at you. So maybe practice heeling against the fence or against the wall where he can't swing out. If the wall is right here, that means he has to sit right here. He can't turn and look at you like that. But overall, his heel is really good. Just fine-tuning a couple little things, and he will be a pro in no time. This is Rachel and Goose, and we were working on heeling.